Hello everyone, my name is Ava. Welcome to my channel, Luna Vika Designs. Today's design hack, we are going to make this double helix earrings. I came up with this design by accident. I was playing with traditional double A links and trying to find an unconventional way to connect these two A's together. And this idea popped up in my head, turned out to be very beautiful and modern. I think this double helix link is versatile and useful. It opens up many design possibilities. You can connect these two A's, like mine, hanging with the small loop. Or you connect them the same way but hang with the big loop, like my prototype here. It can be earrings and wear alone, or hang some beads here, or like mine, put a geometrical shapes on. It also can be a component to your necklace, or like my bracelet, incorporate this double helix link into it. And it also can be just a pendant where alone it will give you an abstract look. Here are the materials needed for this project. 14 gauge wire, 2 different colors, 16 gauge wire, 20 gauge wire, 28 gauge wire, and a bead, 3 milliliter bicone copper, or the bead of your choice. Let's go over the essential tools needed for this project. Chain nose plier, flat nose plier, 6-step bell shaping plier, nylon jaw plier, heavy-duty flush cutter, can cut up to 10 gauge wire, regular flush cutter, mine can cut up to 16 gauge, wire rounder, tracing hammer, and a bench block. We start with making this A shape of link. And I'm using 14 gauge wire. And I'm going to work off the spool. I grab my 6 steps bell shaping plier and using the third step, 1, 2, 3, third step, which is 4 milliliter on mine, to make a loop. Make sure here is a flush cut end and put it here and start looping. Start with a small loop. I think it would be better, easier, because the bigger loop later on when we cut off the wire, it can give your flush cutter more rooms to play with. I will show you what it means later. And then this the loop I get. It's like a P shape. Now let's make the big loop to complete this number 8 shape. I'm using the largest step on my bell making plier, and this is a 9 milliliter. I put this wire, the loop, upwards, and then hold it firmly and start rolling. Just like so. And then keep rolling. I reposition my plier and then roll until this wire meets the smaller loop here. And then I take off my 6th step. Actually, I want to adjust a little bit. This. So push this small loop against this can make the bigger loop more rounder and tighter. Then I take it off. And I use my heavy duty flush cutter. I want to just make a mark for now. So I use the flush side actually against here. But don't cut it. Just make a little mark. It's like you engrave a line here. See, like this. And then I flip over my cutter because we want the side that's a flush side put this way, flush side against here, and just cut it off like this. The reason why I want to mark it first is because I find that if I just flush cut like this, here would be shorter than needed. So I mark it first because I think because the cutter here has an angle. So I mark it first, then I follow the mark to cut, and it will be the length I need. Okay. So we need to make a second one because we need 2 A's, number A's. And I need to flush cut first, like this. See, I use my pill bottle to hold the ends. And then same, use the 3rd step 4 milliliter to make a small loop first, like this. Then use the largest size, 9 milliliter, and place the wire, the loop upwards. Oh, this way, loop upwards, and then I just roll like this. And then keep rolling until the wire meets the small loop here. And then I want to push the small loop to my right side a little bit, so make the bigger loop tighter and rounder, like this. And then I use my cutter, flush side against to this wire first, make a little mark right here. And then flip over, cut it off. See, this 14 gauge wire a little bit difficult, and this is what I mean. When you have end up with the bigger loop, so the head of this cutter for heavy duty usually big, and you have more room to get your cutter in, and then cut the link off the wire, off from the spool. So it will be easier. And this is what we have. And next, let's hammer this link to be flat, like this. So use our bench block tracing hammer, and we just strike down and pull away from it. Sorry for the noises. And I'm doing both sides. And you just keep hammering like this. Strike down, pull away, as I explained in my previous videos. And this is the way you can get flatter surface. And you just keep doing it until you're happy about the look. And I'm going to complete it off the camera, and I'll be right back. Hi, I'm back. So after hammering, this is what I have. And the flatness, it's really up to you how flat you want. And I like it this way. And now you see, after hammering, the shape a little bit changed. See this opening too big here? Because wire expanded after you hammer it. So we need to adjust it. And we need to put it back to our 6-step. The smaller loop is a 4 milliliter third step. And just close it out like this. And the large one, it's the largest step, 9 milliliter, and same. We just close it out like this. Okay. And we can use our flat nose plier, and just like you're doing the jump ring, and like this to make it just closer. And same for this one. Put it back to 4 milliliter step, and then close it. And this one, 9 milliliter, and close it. Okay. And now we need to make some split rings to connect these 2 A's together. I'm using 16 gauge wire, and also work off the spool. And you see here, the design idea is my 2 A's, it's flat this way. So I want to give some depth to this design. So I hammer my wire, 16 gauge wire first to make it flat. Then I make the ring. So it looks like this flat surface will against this. It looks like a more 3D. I straighten my wire a little bit and place the wire on this bench block, and just make a flat part about 2 to 3 inches long, just like this. Sorry about the noise. I'm doing both sides as well. And 2 to 3 inches will be enough for one split ring. And I grab my another 6-step because some of the steps have a different inner dimension. And I'm using the fourth one, which is a 6 milliliter on this 6 steps. My another one, the fourth one, is a 5 milliliter. You can use a 5. I tried it, actually come up a similar result. It doesn't make a big difference, but I like to use a 6 milliliter. And I place my wire here, and I just roll, use my finger, see, against here, my thumb or index finger, and just keep it. This is important, you use your finger against it here, because after you flatten this wire when you roll or loop it, it tends to be easily to like not follow this flatness direction. So you use your finger to help you to against the wire, and then it will help you to get a look you want. So here would be flat. It's not like a twisted. And we stop when here meets and take off our 6 step like this. Then we can cut it. And I want this end line up to the other end. So I just cut from here. And just like so. And we need to file these 2 ends. Before we do that, we just use flat nose plier and my chain nose plier to split them a little bit, open up a little bit. Otherwise, we cannot file it. Okay. I use my wire rounder to do the filing. You can use just a regular the file, wire file, or sometimes I use a nail file to do it. And it's noisy. I'm sorry about that. You just don't want the ends too sharp and might scratch your skin. We need to make another split ring. And I flattened my wire about 2 to 3 inches long. Use my 6-step, 4th step, the 6 milliliter, and place here. And use my finger to push it. And then keep rolling until it's 2 wraps, 2 rounds. Okay. So when here meets this end, we can stop and take it off from the plier. And I want this end same, line up at the other end. Then I cut from here. Like this. Let's open up a little bit so we can file the ends. Okay. Wire rounder. This tool is really useful and quick. I love it. I apologize for the noise. And the other end. You can see I'm a two-person. Every time, whenever I make something, and I just use a lot of tools. I'm not really good at it. Just use the fingers to shape everything. I need tools. So this is what we have. Now let's connect these two A's together. You see, we want this opposite to each other. So the small connect to the big, small connect to the big. And let's do one first, one at a time. Okay, just go through here and keep rolling, rolling like this. And then do this big one. Okay, you see, here is just opened, and we don't want that. We need to fix this. I'm using my flat nose plier. Squeeze them together like this. Okay, see, much better. And the other side. Okay, just like so. And now we connect the other one. I think we need to open up here more. So easier. You can use your tool to help you. Then slide in. Use your tool help you also easier too. Okay. And then do here. Okay. Rolling till it's going in. Same, we adjust it with a flat nose plier. Close out. Like this. Okay. So you can hang like this, or like this. I usually like longer and bigger earrings, so I'm going to make a triangle hanging here. I'm using 14 gauge wire, silver plated copper wire. And this triangle, these two sides have the identical length. It's about 1 1/8 inches. And this bottom, this length is about 1/2 inches. So I'm going to work off the spool also with my 14 gauge wire. And I use this triangle as my perimeter, and just about here, because we need to fold this side, so I want to leave maybe 1/2 inches longer, and I just make a bend like this. And then I think I can cut it off, use my heavy duty flush cutter, and cut it. Easier for me to manipulate the wire after cut it off from the spool. And then we want to make it identical as much as possible since it's handmade. So I'm going to use my marker to mark the length before I bend it. It's about here and here. We can put our flat nose plier right here, because we need to just, this is horizontal after you bend. It's like this. So if you place your flat nose plier right on this mark and bend it, then this side will be shorter. Because the wire has a thickness we need to take into account. And what I do is I place my flat nose plier just a little on the right. So I'll bend it, and this will be right at this point I want it. Let's see, like this. See? We can use the other earring that already made to see if at the right length. Yep, perfect. Okay, so let's do the other one. It's same. This end we need to place on the left. So if this way, it's my right. And then same, just a little right next to this mark on the right side of the mark, and then bend like this. So we check again. Okay, this is perfect. Now we need to cut off the ends in the center. And same, I prefer to mark it first, so easier for me. So I just mark in the center right here by eyeball. You can measure if you want to. And also this triangle, the size of the triangle, it's really up to you if you want bigger or smaller. And I just like this size to match my design. And use my heavy duty flush cutter. And this time we wanted to place this flush cutter right on the mark. because we don't need to bend, we don't need to think about the thickness of the wire after bended, that kind of thing. We want just perfectly close. So we put it here and cut it. I like to use my flush cutter against this wire already cut flush and mark a little bit. Mark on the other one, making a little line. Don't cut it, just a little line. See here? Because we want to cut off from that exact spot. That can give you the perfect close. So we want this end, this end is what we need. So we want it to be flush. So we place the flush cutter, this flush side, on this line that we marked just now, and cut it. Then so like this. Can adjust a little bit. With our nylon jaw plier. So this is what we get. And we can double check. It's identical. And let's put it on just like the jump ring. And open up. And then like what you play with your round jump ring, close out like this, back and forth. Okay. Let's make this ear hook to complete the earrings. And I have some scrap wire, 20 gauge. And I use my second step is a 3 milliliter to make a loop. And we bend it straight. Usually when we make a ear hook, a regular ear hook, we don't straighten up. But this one, we need to. Because I want to put a little embellishment here, the bead. And if we don't straighten up this way, and then it just doesn't look good. And also the bead might fall off. So after we straighten up, we put this 3 milliliter bicone on the wire like this. And we use some 28 gauge wire and make some coil. I use the 9 coils on the other side. So we do the same. And just coiling 9 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I like to check if the length is the same. Then we can cut off this end, I'm using my 就是 regular flush cutter because the head is smaller and flush cut. And use my flat nose plier. Make sure we squeeze down the end, no pokey or scratching. Stick it out, something like that. And then also cut the other end. Okay, same. See, we just roll it to squeeze down, roll it, so you won't damage your wire, and also the wire will follow your direction to just touch the main wire. And now let's finish the hook. And I put my flat nose plier right here, and I want to bend it about 45 degrees, like this. And use my 6-step, the second largest one, 7 milliliter, and place my wire like this, and just roll it along with my 7 milliliter step and take it off. And we got this. Okay, so check with the other side. And we cut it short, a little bit shorter. And use my flat nose, this width here, and make a band like this. Okay. And we put it on. Open up. Close out. Okay. The final step is to file this end before we can wear. So I use my wire rounder and then just file the ends like this. So it will be safe to wear on my ears. Now, double helix earrings are completed. Thank you for watching today's design hack. I hope you like it. Feel free to like, share, and comment the video. I really appreciate your time and support. Let's hit subscribe to grow this community together. Thank you so much. See you next time.